Hi, it's Ty Ford. Come on in. We're talking about audio today, and one of the questions that I'm asked a lot is, well, why do I need so many different microphones and which ones are best for what different shots? So we're going to give you a little tutorial and also give you a chance to hear the differences in these microphones and perhaps give you a hint as to which better ones to choose when you're out on your shoot the next time. So what we have here today are this Countryman E6 that I'm wearing right here. I don't know whether the camera's picking it up very much, but it drapes over my ear. Can be dressed into a wireless or hardwired down the back so you can't see it. We also have a standard lavalier here on my chest. And let's see, the Sennheiser shotgun microphone, and also the Schoeps CMC 641 hypercardioid. So let's start with this guy right here. And why not use him? I mean, if you've got a situation where it's okay to see the face of the person and that they're wearing a mic, whether it's for, I don't know, some sort of an aerobics class or something else, then the nice thing about this mic is the mic is so close to the mouth that you hear very little room sound and very few other sounds as well. If I shut up for a second, you can hear a plane going over. It's Inauguration Day, so maybe that's it's in the afternoon. Maybe that's somebody leaving Washington, D.C. because they've shut down the flights from BWI because of that. Anyway, so this is a very direct sound. It gives you probably the best, and this is an Omni. This is a mic that receives sound from all around, yet because it's so close to my mouth, it hits more of my mouth or picks up more of my mouth than anything else. Now, let's go to the lavalier on my chest. It's further away. It's also an Omni. And now, okay, now I've got the Omni, and this is a very typical position right here in the center of the chest. But immediately, I'm not as present, I'm not as close, and you can hear the room. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the dog in the neighbor's yard. There he is. So now we've stepped back, and these are used primarily because we can hide them, we can put them on a lapel. That's what the newscasters do. And you say, well, gee, the newscasters sound better than you sound right now. I can really hear the room when you do that. Well, consider the news set is typically a very open set. The ceiling may be 20 feet up or more. There are no side walls as I have here in a normal house. So if you're going to shoot in a normal house or in an office somewhere that has regular ceiling and walls, even if the ceiling is acoustic, you're going to have a problem. You're going to hear more of the room and the air conditioning and the heating system and the dog next door and the gal with the stapler down the hall and the guy in the drill press over in the corner. So you may end up with this as a choice you have to make because you don't want to see the mic. Now, another way to not see the mic is to have a boom mic. Of course, that means you have to have another person, somebody to hold the boom and keep it in the right place, especially if people will move. And even if people are sitting in a chair, they will move back. They will move over. They'll move this way. They may lean up. And a mic on a boom that's positioned in one spot is not going to be in that right spot all of the time for those simple moves. So a boom person, unless they're on a stool or in a chair for a very short period of time, is also probably necessary. So let's go to the boom and see what happens. Now, everybody talks about a shotgun. I want a shotgun. Okay. Well, here's the Sennheiser 416. We've got a little foam pop filter on it. This is an industry standard microphone. And I'm going to turn down the lav on my chest now and turn up this. You'll notice a change in the character of the sound. And for the most part, the shotgun mic is held just out of frame. Some people think it can be back on the camera 4, 5, 6, 8, 25 feet away and get this kind of results. Well, it can't. Now, you hear me a lot more closely now than if I go back to the lav. Okay, so here I am on the lav, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of in the room somewhere, and that's nice. And I'll go back to the Sennheiser 416, and it much more aggressively reaches for and captures my voice. Now, this is a great mic to use in a situation where you don't have a lot of noise coming from either side of you and you don't have parallel walls and you don't have a hard ceiling. if you could pan up, you'd see my ceiling is kind of, it's a cathedral ceiling, so we're not getting the full negative influence of a bounce down. And again, it's right outside of the frame, you know. If you move this back onto the microphone, back onto the camera itself, and the further, all right, so it's pointed right at me, but out of frame some now, you can hear more and more of the room the further and further away it gets. So when it's right here, I'm not doing too badly. Now, the problem, some people think that shotgun, well, it's, you know, it's like a rifle, it goes on forever. Well, I'm talking into the side of it, and as you can hear right now, as I'm talking into the side, you hear those low frequencies, the stuff? Well, a shotgun microphone is very directional at high frequencies, the middle and high frequencies, that many of which are in the human voice. But it's not so directional at these frequencies over here, so it's going to pick up this stuff pretty readily, actually. Now, I'm overcompensating by getting this close, but still, you get the idea. It's not as directional as you think. It's directional at the voice, the higher voice frequencies and higher, because if I get off of it, you hear me going off microphone, right? Okay, so great to use in many situations. If you're in a hard reflective environment, not so good. And if you can't get any closer because you need a really tall shot, then at some point in that very live environment, you're going to find that the lav being closer to you in as much room as it does pick up might actually be the better choice. So we're back to the lav now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can hear the softness of the mic. It does not reach out as aggressively as the 416 shotgun does. Okay, now we come to the hypercardioid. This is a Schoeps CMC 641, and do the same thing. We'll go from here in our chest-worn lav to just outside of frame, and we turn it up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, I can hear little cable noise as I'm rustling against the cable in the side of the table down here. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, very similar to the shotgun, but when we get off the side of the hypercardioid, the Schoeps, if we go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, we don't get that buildup of low frequencies. So it's rejecting the sounds that a shotgun mic might pick up in a very live environment. It doesn't have the reach, which means you've really got to be no more than about, no more than 2 feet away with the hypercardioid, with the Schoeps, to make it work. Shotgun might work a little bit further back, and if you're in a David Letterman, Jay Leno kind of a studio where you don't have any walls and the ceiling is way up there, then the shotgun may well perform much better. Oh, there goes Mr. UPS. Can we get him? The brake sound? Let's see. Switched over to the shotgun mic. Tried to get to give you an example of that, but he's gone. So we're on the shotgun, which was on the table. Now we're back to the Schoeps. So the Schoeps, again, is a hypercardioid, does not have the reach. It won't hear those sounds quite as far away as the shotgun, but it's also much more directional than the shotgun mic. So we're not hearing that low frequency stuff here that we were hearing here. And that's pretty remarkable difference. So these are some of the thoughts that go through the voice person when he or she is trying to figure out the best mic to use for your shoot to get the best audio. I think that'll probably do it. I guess we could go back to the very first one so that you can compare the Schoeps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way back around to the little Countryman E6 on my cheek. And that one's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check. 1, 2, 3. If you listen carefully, you'll hear the hiss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hear the hiss? Okay. What's that about? Well, each microphone generates sound by having a little diaphragm that moves as it picks up the voice or the sound. The smaller the diaphragm, the smaller the diameter of the diaphragm, the less voltage it can create and the less signal it can create. That means that microphones with very small diaphragms, and typically those are lavalier mics or the E6, need as much help as they can. And they use a little amplifier to raise the level up to line level. And what happens is with the smaller mics and the smaller diaphragms, they just can't compete with a mic with a much larger diaphragm. I'm not sure how small this diaphragm is. It's about the width of a pencil lead. This is a 1/2 inch in diameter, so it's, I don't know, 15, 20 times bigger. Listen to the quiet and the hiss. Now we go to the Schoeps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll be quiet. You don't hear the hiss. There is some actually down there, but the ambient noise in the room covers up that amount of hiss. There are microphones with lower hiss self-noise. That's what we're talking about. Actually, if you've seen this figure in microphone specifications, it is the self-noise at whatever decibel figure that that hiss is that we're actually hearing. So again, here's the Schoeps listening for the hiss, hearing some but not so much. Going back down, and now we have the Countryman E6 listening for the hiss. Got a bunch of hiss. And again, if we're not, if we're in an environment where it really doesn't make any difference because our ambient noise is so high that it's going to cover that up, or you're going to have music over it, then, you know, this is not so much an issue. If we go to the lavalier mic on my chest, we have some hiss, a kind of a different sound of hiss. It's a little different spectra, but it's still there. Listening quietly. And we'll go back to the Schoeps on top, and you can maybe hear that hiss go away. Yeah, you can actually hear the rumble, which is, you know, like blood vessels in my hand, because I don't have this hooked up to a suspension mount, which it normally would be on for a boom or something like that. So that's the deal on mics at the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. Get back to me, let me know, and you can always find me at tyford.com. See ya.